announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Mercer, one half of the tag team champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemoth, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 782. Tuesday, we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, ready to talk about more professionalized wrestling with us. We got our crew here tonight. We got a wonderful, jovial, happy about wrestling crew to talk about things tonight. That feels weird. I feel like we do. Is it Tuesday? This doesn't feel like Tuesday. Something feels off. Is it because it's the rainy day outside? I don't know. It's kind of gross right now. But anyways, we do have with us up in a place I'll be visiting in less than a month now. Up in upstate New York, in Beacon, New York. He's the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. I hope to see the letter in person, actually. I'm please bring it to our Airbnb, Mad Mike.
I mean, I haven't printed it out yet. I still need to print it out.
Oh, it hasn't been printed. Okay.
No, it's still an email. It still exists in my old AOL account.
Oh, you better get that soon. So I don't know if it's. I don't know who owns that anymore. So I think it's part of Yahoo now, right? Which is owned by somebody. I'm not Verizon anymore. I don't know. I don't know. And also with us back on the show, manager, wrestler, referee, safety professional extraordinaire, toy collector Ronnie Starks is with us.
Hello, everyone.
I mean, I'm just as many of the things as I didn't see your visuals before we came. Dude, look at that! Look at the Ninja Turtles in the background.
Ronnie, you're just making me jealous.
Look at the Ghostbusters. You got the I busted out my Ghostbusters in that little the little yellow car that turns into the praying mantis thing. I actually busted part of it when I was like, I don't remember how this thing pops up. Crack. I'm like, fuck. So
Actually in the box right now.
you're in the box. Mine are definitely highly played with. Are those originals or
Oh
re-releases?
God, I had one of those when I was a kid.
Yes. Yes.
That's the cab. The
Mhm.
cab that pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And then look what I have sitting here in the box, just on the floor. Just hanging out.
Oh, jeez, it's a party wagon, guys.
see-
Thanks to Chachi, I ended up picking for $24 on Amazon is the entire run of the original Ninja Turtles series.
Very nice.
It's it is more DVDs than I've ever seen in a set. It was only $24. It is. I didn't realize that ran for 10 seasons. I may just pick up at like season 4 and run from there because I know there's stuff I haven't seen.
Sorg, watch the first couple seasons.
But that's
Well,
what I
they're
watched.
typical with
You know,
us.
the first like 3 seasons were on syndication, and they did a weird kind of split between syndication and Saturday morning, like for 4 and 5.
Yeah, but
so that's
Sorg,
when I started
it'll
losing it.
It'll put you in your happy place.
It would probably put me in a happy place. And it's not that
Sorg, do you want to know a fun fact about Mad Mike?
Hmm.
I know the first episode verbatim.
Oh, I pretty much probably do too.
No, but
I
like
do it.
I've done it.
You've done it. You've done. You've done a Mad Mike one-man show of the first episode of Ninja Turtles.
I did it in college. I even did the voices.
This should be a video. This should be a video.
Oh God!
We should
if there was video capabilities back then,
we can put it in the corner, and you will just it'll be you on the screen just mouthing all the like doing all the lines as it goes.
Sorg, crime. It's something we take for granted. It's simply a day-to-day fact of life in the big city. But occasionally, I could go on. I'm not going to.
No. We'll save that. We'll save that for later. We'll save that for later for sure.
We'll save it for later.
But this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and I just closed all my lines, so this will be awkward. But you can check out everything at that email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or 412-206-WMS0. You can also get us at Mayhem Show on the Twitter, just like Rebby Hardy did after last night's video. Hi, Rebby. How you doing?
Good
We
times
love
at
you.
Wrestling Mayhem Show. Good times at Wrestling Mayhem Show. Good times at Wrestling Mayhem Show. Email us when you're drunk. Turtle Power.
Yes, and that was at 412-206-WMS0, just to circle back. Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page and group. A lot of great discussion happening over there. And, of course, we are live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Wrestling Mayhem Show and IndieWrestling.us and Sorgatron Media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch page, some combination of those. So please go check all of that out wherever you like to stream your show to be a part of it. But a lot of the great discussion is happening on the Facebook page. I see Tina Keys in Seattle. Dave Ponner's out there as well, hanging out right now. We had a bunch of people hopping in there for the Monday Mayhem Warriors that we do every Monday night post Raw, Monday Night Raw, and we are opening it up. I've been talking with some people. We may start having special guests on the Monday show because Tuesday doesn't work out for everybody. So I just started saying, hey, let me know Tuesdays 11 are. We'll see what happens. We do have the next couple of episodes of this show booked. We have referee George Ross, who is, if you remember, the deathmatch referee. He will be joining us here. And
we have to ask him about what he thinks about the new Deathmatch King, Zack Ryder.
There you go. Oh, absolutely. And then the week after that, I believe we are scheduled to have Christian Noir, who came back to wrestling last weekend, by the way, at Rise Wrestling, Tiger Style, and available on IndieWrestling.us, and Meg Myers, who has not been on the show yet. So a little 1-2 punch there. I keep running into her when we go down to Conquest, and I understand she's moved back to the area.
I saw a couple pictures and videos of her, and I am thoroughly terrified.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And
but also intrigued.
Okay. I think that's what she's going for.
Yeah, I hope so.
I want to say shout out and thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Ed Burke and Team Hammer Fist. And our friends at the Poppy Club level, Dave Paul Podnar.
Well, no.
Sorry,
Podnar.
I've been watching a lot of He-Man lately. And Occupy.
Can we call all of our regulars by He-Man names?
Yes,
now?
He-Man names. And OccupyProWrestling.com and the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, Cal Turner, or Turnar, The Riz, and Bobby F. J-Town. And
I would still be Mad Mike, just hyphenated.
And at the manager level, Bradley Ruthors, and Tina Keys. You can support the show and get your He-Man name at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. So, I this isn't off. I started watching the new He-Man series, which is obviously aimed at kids, but it's also as if the people who did How I Trained Your Dragon, How I Trained My Dragon, How to Train a Dragon, right?
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. It's as if those people did their take on He-Man, and I kind of love it. So I got 2 episodes left of the first 10. So
it looked wild.
It is wild. It is absolutely wild. And just throw away. Just throw it away. Just like
see. All right, this is a quick diatribe. I know you're saying throw away everything you know about He-Man when you watch this show. The people who were complaining about the Kevin Smith one.
Oh, they're gonna hate this.
They need to shut the fuck up.
They're gonna hate the shit out of this one. So
they need to shut the fuck up.
It's not for them. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. It's He-Man's for the kids, guys. And no, it's fun and it's action packed and there's some anime influences. And I've really enjoyed it, but I'm like a lifelong He-Man fan. I'm just happy there is He-Man. Listen, I watched the entirety of She-Ra and the Princess of Power, and I freaking loved it, okay? Such a good story. Holy shit. And same with the new Voltron. They did the DreamWorks crew that worked on both of those, and I think this is a whole different crew that's working on the He-Man shows. I know the Kevin Smith one was the Castlevania anime people, right? So, and this one, I don't know the team that's working on this, but I have a feeling once I find out who it was, it's going to make so much sense, to be honest. But anyway, so let's roll around here. Hey, can we first start with, you want a positive story? Because we talked about some really negative stories last night.
I mean, you might as well. We
might as well.
Positivity, man.
So
let's go light side of the ring.
Light side of the ring, which is actually partially taken off of an episode of Dark Side of the Ring when we think about it. AEW had an announcement yesterday.
Oh, this was the best news.
This
was the best news.
If AEW has an announcement and Mike doesn't have a but on this thing,
no buts here.
No buts here. We'll see on execution. So Mike, do you want to tell the people what was announced with AEW? Did you read that press release, by the way? Because I didn't realize all the details until a lot later.
Yeah. And people probably forget this. Bret Hart was the one who debuted the AEW title. He was the one that first debuted it. So Bret Hart's already been on AEW programming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like people forget that. And I think they got in touch with Martha Hart somehow. And they're working together with the Owen Hart Foundation. Mm-hmm. And they're going to start having tributes to Owen Hart. They're going to have a tournament called the Owen Cup, which is amazing. And I haven't fantasy booked in my head who I want to win that.
Dude, already, Anthony Ego, I keep forgetting his name. He's the one that's usually teaming with Frank the Clown when I'm up there for Warrior Wrestling, and he has a great match with Joey Janela on the Chicago Darks, maybe Elevation show. And he tweeted it with, "I've never wanted to be a part of a tournament so bad in my life." And I think that's a response from a lot of people. A lot of responses across even from WWE people, I think, were responding to this.
If I could fantasy book, the person who I would have win is Kevin Steen. That's who I'd fantasy book to win that. Yeah. But that's me or DH Smith.
Right?
Hell, have that be the final.
Yeah. He doesn't have to win, but he's got to be in there in the final. Like, it makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
So,
but so they're gonna have an Owen tournament. They're going to have Owen Hart action figures, which you better believe my shiny happy ass is buying. And he's going to be featured in the video game. fucking hell. Like, I was
Dude.
already gonna buy the AEW game
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just for curiosity's sake, to see if it
Hey,
was good,
just-
see if it was bad. Now I don't care if it's good or bad.
It's got Owen. I just like it's fine, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can have. All right, small question. A small question going off of this. In the AEW video game, who's the first person you're going to put Owen Hart up against?
Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Easy.
Ronnie?
Easy.
Punk?
Mm.
Oh. See me, I'm going Sting.
Mhm.
I'm going Sting.
Okay.
I think because Bret Hart for Sting never quite what we wanted it to be. I don't think. Owen Hart
No.
versus Sting.
Yeah. Well, we still
Owen
have
Hart versus Sting would be
we still have an
great.
untarnished fantasy of Owen Hart and Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Second will be Miro, just because I want to see Miro.
And I think I respond I think I responded to this. Like, this is the kind of I don't know. I think I did this on Slack or something. I was like, this is what happens when you treat your wrestlers like people. It was, you know, and we've heard from, you know, the Punks and Bryans. I think it was mostly the Punk, you know, talking about the Brody tribute and how they kept things under wraps and were very respectful for that. In other instances too, that's of course the big marquee one for the most part. But you know, but that's true. I think like all of that has like things like that, and that attitude is what's brought to, you know, good things like this happening. Right?
I think Mark Henry going to AEW also had a massive influence in it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because Mark and Owen were close. Like, they were real good friends, and even at Mark Henry's Hall of Fame induction speech, he said during that speech he wanted Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, you know, not up to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to one person,
Yeah.
and she's
and she said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, the AEW Hall of Fame will come sooner or later, and
it would not shock me if Owen is the first inductee.
you know, if AEW,
It wouldn't shock me at all.
I would hope AEW doesn't do necessarily a Hall of Fame, but maybe some other. I mean, call it something else, right? Like, I feel like
a remembrance wing or something like that.
just like a Legends wing or something like that. You know, contribution to the business wing. You know, because I feel like when TNA, you know, obviously when TNA, I'm not continuing my harping on TNA from last night officially here. I'm just saying, but when TNA started doing their Hall of Fame, like, it felt so hollow in comparison, right? Because it's just like, it was still like, TNA, who are you to do a Hall of Fame? And I don't know what it is. Is it because they feel bigger? Is it what, like, I don't think they do it now. I think like 3 years from now they could do something, right?
Yeah.
Like Jericho, you know, will probably retire into the next several years, right? And
Here's open.
And okay, and yeah, he's a first, you know, ballot on that one. He's somebody,
first,
he's somebody,
basically anyone they have there already that's
Right.
above the age of 45,
right,
is a first ballot AEW Hall
and
of Fame.
Jericho's a guy that was like a big name that helped put AEW on the map to make way for everything else that's happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, he was the marquee guy that they could bring over, do something, pin a lot of stuff on. So it's like, he deserves an AEW golden watch, you know, which is what
doing a gold watch actually probably would be different. Oh no, because Dixie did something like that.
Did she?
Yeah, Dixie had Rolexes, I think.
Oh, did she?
I
The main
think
event
so,
Mafia
yeah.
era or something like that. So, anyways,
You know, you could do statues.
where would they
Like-
put
like-
them? And they're all outside of the Jacksonville Stadium in Daly's place.
Either outside the Jacksonville State, either on display at Daly's place, or as part of the stage.
So here's an interesting question.
For Dynamite.
Here's an interesting question, because now that we're out of the COVID era and we talk about the homecoming and
We're not out of the COVID.
we're out of the closed down COVID wrestling era.
For now, yes.
That's just, let's put a pin in that part.
Yeah.
So and obviously like AEW, like, you know, obviously we're headquartered in Daly place. They had a homecoming back there like a month later. You know, it is I feel like Daly's Place is their ECW arena.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
So,
by default.
By default, I mean, yeah, right. But still, like, I feel like it's the place that's synonymous. It is the hometown for them, just like Madison Square Garden, New York City is the home territory of WWE, right? Like, I feel like it's that kind of thing. There's pictures of WWE, WWF, wrestling Bruno in the halls of Madison Square Garden, right? If you're going to put a statue of Bruno anywhere that was not WWE headquarters, it would be Madison Square Garden and Pittsburgh as a whole. But I mean, but on that level, I mean, there's there could be pictures, anyways, other than that. So like Jacksonville is the obvious home base, just like Atlanta was WCW. Like I feel like you could.
And Nashville is TNA.
You could have a point, right? You could have a point where, except I think they tore down the fairgrounds or something like that.
But you know what I mean? Like they had the
yeah.
asylum when they first started.
But knowing that they own Daly's Place and everything like that, I could see them starting to put, like, there is a statue kind of thing as they do a Hall of Fame type concept.
I don't know if they necessarily do that, because it's also like something for the Jags.
Could be,
so.
but it's not. But Daly's Place is its own thing. Like that's not for the Jaguars. It's just an adjacent. It's like Stage AE right by Heinz Field here in town for the Steelers, but except Stage AE is a separate venue. This is an attached venue to it, obviously, but it is still a separate venue, So I feel like that could be a thing where we start seeing. I mean, there's also the idea that eventually, as AEW becomes bigger and bigger, we have a first obvious WrestleMania level venue for them with, hey, we got a stadium. But anyway, better than that, like, I think that's still going to be, I think at some point, other than Chicago, like the mecca of AEW is also, like, their secondary mecca is going to be Jacksonville, Florida, which means we're all going to have to visit, unfortunately, Jacksonville, Florida, but have a much better time than Ryan Edmonds with his Jaguars.
Did you just make a sports reference, Sorg?
Yeah, because every time I talk about Ryan Edmonds and why he's not out on a show this weekend, he's like, oh, I'm going to see the Jaguars. And then I see him complain about the Jaguars on social media.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wrestler adjacent sport.
Okay,
hey,
I was gonna say,
Mike,
Sorg, do you know what sport the Jaguars play?
I'm pretty sure the football where you don't foot the ball a lot.
Okay, yes, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
So
not Ted Lasso football. Got it. Yeah. Yes. Everything I know from soccer, I learned from Ted Lasso, and it may actually get me some work. So,
foosball's the devil.
What's that?
Foosball's the devil.
Yes,
that's what Mama said.
That's right. So, but no, I mean that's kind of my take on that. So he needs better taste in teams. Have you seen Ryan Edmonds wrestle? Anyways,
but yeah, the Owen Hart news is fucking great.
No, that's great.
And the people who are like, because I saw some people ragging about it, where shut the fuck up.
There's always going to be somebody ragging
just
about it. Just
let us
Twitter.
Enjoy this fucking pure ass thing.
Like Twitter is
like, my God.
Twitter is a whole bag of angry these days, and I mean, not that it hasn't kind of always been, but man, the wrestlers are getting fed up with it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Between the news stories, they're just absolute ludicrous and not true.
Yeah, like that. Like save the anger for shit that you're supposed to legit get angry about.
Yeah, and there was a comment, our friend the Rev Ron Hunt, and I had some great conversations with him this weekend about some of the stuff going on, and he made a comment, and I'll paraphrase because it's not right in front of me, about like I wish for fans to kind of worry about what's happening in the ring and less about what's happening backstage. Don't worry, they'll be okay. And I think that is it. I mean, we all kind of wax philosophical about. I mean, because I'm interested from a creative side and everything like that. But I want to kind of leave a lot of it in the ring, and what we're seeing versus the whys and whatnots, because I don't feel like any of us really have a grasp on why anything happens in front of us. You know what I mean? Other than general wrestling logic, because we've been watching it for 20, 30 years.
Or you know, basic storytelling logic.
Yes, there's also that. So, but I know that's your sticking point. But yeah, so I think there is a little bit of that, and unfortunately, like there's things where I think the Dark Side of the Ring episode, we got into that last night, of course, more, but that brings to light things, because I feel like we've all heard of bits and pieces of the Plane Rider from Al, and then
I never heard the whole thing.
I had
never heard. I heard the main thing I heard of was the Henning and Brock scrap.
Yeah, we've all,
and I didn't even hear how severe that got.
No. I nobody, like, it was always like, oh, this person in a shoot interview talked about, and then Brock did this, and this happened, and this happened. You know, this was like, you know, the Dark Side of the Ring guys are really good about pulling all the stories together into an actual pieced together narrative of what supposedly happened. And also remember, please, when you're watching Dark Side of the Ring, a lot of this is, you know, even in that situation, a lot of this is everybody's recollection of the events, right? So we don't have a camera was there, this, and this. So I always, you should always take every documentary with a little bit of grain of salt, because it's the narrative that was captured and constructed in editing. Yeah. Not to,
you know, depending on who's speaking.
Right, absolutely.
Depending on who's speaking.
Absolutely.
Because,
let's just get
because the flight attendant, I believe every fucking word she said.
Yeah, and it wasn't
absolutely.
And it wasn't
like,
to spell
category.
this. I'm more worried about the wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean,
CTE is a thing. Everyone.
CTE is definitely a thing. And then there's also just Vince Russo and Cornette on those early episodes that are just.
But one last thing for me, at least, about Dark Side of the Ring. If you ever see something that's truly offensive, sell the fuck out of it. Sell it like you're Don West shilling Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards. Make it known that you're uncomfortable. Make it known that it's wrong. Enough of this bullshit. Don't sell it. Don't react. Fucking react.
It's a little different these days, I think, than it was in that.
Yeah,
that era.
I'm sure it is, but
I think
I'm sure it also probably depends on where you are, where it's probably not so different.
Yeah, fortunately, you know,
like
yes. Fortunately, unfortunately, you know. So, but I feel like there's a lot more that don't put up with that kind of shit, and that's good to see. But not that, you know, we're ones to probably speak on that, but anyways. So good stuff happening there. Rough stuff with it. What's the Dark Side of the Ring this week? What were you saying?
Canyon.
Yep. So I am interested in you, because I didn't
probably
know.
Not going to be great.
Probably not going to be great. No. So, but and again, it's you know, it's shit has happened in wrestling, and we know that, and it's what we take with a lot of this, you know. So, but hey, we all watch Hollywood, and that's a whole bag of bullshit too. Anyways,
moving along. Sorg, do you
Yes.
want to hear my lukewarm takes about NXT 2.0?
Yes. Oh, yeah, we haven't done that. Hold on a second. Let's do that in one moment. First, I want to give a shout out. Hey, we talked about momentarily 2PW Prospect Pro Wrestling's coming up this weekend with their Redemption show. A lot of great stuff happening on there. Katie Arquette and Paris Sahara, one of the intergender matches happening on that. I do know that it's going to be, I'm just doing this off the top of my head because I'm doing promos. Some good new faces. If you haven't seen VJ Hales, he's one of the new stars that I had a great time filming and chatting with him at the shows, and he's one to look out for. And I believe they're doing a no DQ match, no holds barred match between Elijah Dean and Jamie Jamison. And if you know the history of Jamie Jamison and when the rules are not included in a match, that gets pretty harrowing. Just this past weekend, we had a great show. RWA's Fall Free for All, now part of the network in VOD and available for DVD pre-order. That included J-Rock defending the RWA Championship against Brian Johnson from Ring of Honor. It was a pleasure to film one of his matches. We also had O'Shea Edwards of Shane Taylor Promotions in there, again in the match with a friend of the show, John Roden, and of course all the stars of RWA. Listen, Jason Gorey fought Super Hentai for his name and won. Super Hentai can no longer go by Super Hentai, which means that my videos of him will hopefully no longer become flag. I don't know. He might come up with a worse name.
Average tentacle porn.
Average tentacle porn. Was that your thing?
That was my suggestion.
What you can't go from
mediocre goatsy.
You can't go from Super Hentai to Joe or Curtis or something, right? Like I feel like you gotta really pay this off. I know, like what does the drawing board look like for Super Hentai to have a new name with that, you know? So I don't even know what that creative process begins. So
right, I got a name for him. Ready?
You got a name for him? Okay.
Pete Jones.
Pete Jones? Okay.
Dude, Mike completely got that.
I don't
Mike
know.
got the joke.
Okay.
I can have a porn name?
Oh.
Yeah, from Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like,
okay.
I think it was Mike, though.
Was it Mike Jones? I thought it was Pete
Yeah.
Jones.
I'm pretty sure it was Mike because I remember, like, him saying that my
I'm
porn,
Googling it, man. Hold on.
But yeah, like, I mean, there's a world where maybe you come up with a name like Henry Tyree, so you could still be Hentai. It's Henry Tyree.
It's
Hold
Pete
on.
Jones.
It's Pete Jones. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was Mike.
I'm looking for synonyms for hentai.
Sorg, you might want to keep your safe search on.
What is? I just won't show these on the thing. Let's see. Wait, is synonyms the one I'm looking for, or something else?
Well, synonyms, yeah. I mean, you could be looking for synonyms.
Cinnamons. All right. Here we go. Here are some. How about Heosophorus Jones? I'm messing that up. What? These are big words. Nearby words. See also sentences with the word. What is the plural of hentai? Words that rhyme with hentai. There we go. Hold on a second. All right. Super Hentai's name is going to be Super Supply. No. Super Outcry. Super Alibi. Super Prophesy. Super Bonsai.
No, just call himself Super Manga.
Super Manga? There you go.
Super Manga.
There you go. Super Buckeye, that doesn't work. Super Antennae. No, that doesn't work.
It'll work in Ohio.
It will work in Ohio. It'll get over big. Super Wise Guy, Super Villi. Like, I don't know if we want to keep that kind of thing going on.
I'm telling you, Henry Tyree. That's where you go with it.
Super Hi-Fi.
And the merch, you have Henry on top, Ty on the bottom. Like, you have Henry going down.
I don't know.
Ty going down.
I don't know. Super Drip Dry. Super
Drip Dry. That
I think
that has legs.
That might have as many
legs,
takedown notices as Super Hentai.
Will his tagline be "You don't score unless you score"?
Okay.
God.
Jeez, Super
Walleye.
Walleye.
So Sorg, NXT.
NXT, yes. Lukewarm takes on NXT, which
NXT.
itself was
NXT
which itself
2.0
was a
happened last
lukewarm take.
Well, it's a lukewarm take because it's a week old. But Sorg, I got the impression from you and Matt that you guys weren't fans.
Not a fan.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, it's the show for you. Wait, did you fill out a survey?
I'm gonna say why I enjoy. Full disclosure, I haven't watched NXT regularly. I've caught the odd bit here and there since they moved to Tuesdays. So a lot of it was a little bit new for me, but the whole thing
we might be a little busy on Tuesdays. So
yeah, exactly. We're doing shit.
Yeah.
we're doing shit. You know, we got podcast day. We're doing stuff. And before podcast day, I ain't watching NXT. I'm hanging with the wife. You know, it's fine. It's what we do.
As you do.
Exactly. So I haven't been fully into NXT. I want to be, but you know, I just can't find time to watch it. But this rebrand, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I was overall pleased with the show. There were a lot of new guys. The only segment that didn't really hit for me was the tag match because the I don't even remember their names, but they just seemed very vanilla and bland.
And by the way, if you're having trouble with all the new names, our friends at JustProWrestlingNews.com has a new Faces of NXT 2.0 cheat sheet that was put out last week. So if you want to know who Braun Breaker, Brooks Jensen, Ivy Nile, Trick Williams, Tony D'Angelo, and Von Wagner are, you got your cheat sheet there. So make sure if you're watching that you have that in front of you.
Yeah.
Classic, generic WWE names.
Oh, all of these. Although Ivy Niles.
No, I don't think that. I think Trick Williams is a good name. I know I'm going to be in the minority on this. I like the name Braun Breaker. It's not better than Rex Steiner, I'll grant you. But I don't mind the name Braun Breaker. Because on a show like NXT where you don't have like a Braun Strowman type anymore, that's what you need.
Okay.
That's
Anyways,
what you need.
back to your takes.
Yes. So the set, I like the set. I like the openness. It's a very sharp contrast to what they had before. I like that you can see all the fans. I really like it. It's different from all the other wrestling shows I watch. It's different. Like it feels different because they obviously can't do NXT in big arenas like AEW or Raw and SmackDown. So they want to make it feel like a bigger arena by brightening it up a lot, which is fine. My only complaint is that the main stage maybe don't have that move during matches.
Oh, during the match? Jeez.
Yeah, because they have it moving during the match. It was distracting.
Yeah.
It was distracting. Like you can have the color or either that or like black out the big screen and just put the color logo on there. That would make it look a lot cleaner, I think. But I like the look of the arena. I thought the arena was very cool. Most of the new people I really enjoyed. I'm curious to see what Ivy Nile does. She looks like a fucking badass.
She's the one we didn't see do anything, and probably is the one I'm most interested to see what's up with her.
Yeah, so, it's like that little guy in the Simpsons meme where it's like, oh, but you know the little guy's gonna do something great, and then
a little bit.
Yeah, like I'm excited to see what she can do. I thought Braun Breaker had a really good first impression. Like he's gonna be an ass kicker in NXT, and I'm excited for it, and I can't wait for him to fight Walter. Exactly. See, right there. I already sold you on that shit.
I am tickled at the idea.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And even him versus Ciampa, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fucking great. Any show where Tommaso Ciampa wins the main title is aces in my book. I don't know about Von Wagner. I saw someone online, it might have been Bobby, I forget, call him the Great Khali. It's spelled like cauliflower. And I'm like, ooh, if that isn't the most accurate thing I've ever seen. But he's got like a good like white baby face look to him, which is fine. He looked good in the match with 3 heavy hitters in NXT, so that's a good sign for him. And the wedding.
Oh, the wedding! Now the wedding made everything okay. If you had a problem with the rest of the show,
the wedding
was fantastic.
Maybe one of the best segments I've ever seen in wrestling, because it was fan-fucking-tastic. It had everything you want. It had like the grizzled young veterans as Waldorf and Statler in the beginning, like, oh, what are we doing at this wedding? Like, you have, oh, God, Odyssey Jones out there looking like Ron Funches. Like, You know, he had everything. Like, and the best thing is, about 2 minutes in, I realized I'm like, oh, this actually has to go okay because Candace is legit pregnant, so they wouldn't risk any physicality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this could end up being really good. And Beth Phoenix paying off the entire, like, all of her tweets, all of her pushing toward Dexter and Indy, like coming in, getting herself ordained the night before because she's seen wrestling before, but still being a little nervous that Loomis is a serial killer. Like, everything about the entire wedding just fucking played. Every single thing, everyone's role was perfect. And I don't like Austin Theory that much, but his reaction at I Do was spot on. Like, I don't like Austin Theory, but he plays his role to damn perfection.
I don't care for Austin Theory, but I love Austin Theory Gargano.
I love Austin wrestling because that's the real surname.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, you know, she's indie wrestling Loomis. You know, let's not get it twisted. But yeah, and DP is saying in the chat, open coat shows the axe.
That was great.
Perfect.
Oh, that was the
Perfect.
meme. That was the meme all week. I saw one that says they say you can't cut people out of your life. Axe, you know, it's just.
But like, it was just so perfect. Like, everyone raising their hand to object, and first you see him open his shirt, and you're not sure what he's doing, and then he turns, and it's like, oh boy, he brought Axe to a wedding.
Oh, so good.
And it's Dexter Loomis, I think. All right, and this is gonna be a bold statement. I think might be the MVP of NXT. And it's simply for the fact he doesn't break. He they're like Johnny, Candace, Austin, Indy. They're being the biggest fucking goofballs you can imagine, and he doesn't break. And he's doing it in one take, and he never loses it. Like, that's fucking impressive, especially when you think back to his TNA run, where he was cutting promos all the time, like doing a similar gimmick, but cutting promos all the time. Like, he needs to be recognized more.
I love this
for what he's been doing.
I love so much of this.
It was just wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. And I have to say, the bright stage helped play into the wedding.
It did. It really
helped play into the wedding a lot.
And I am very interested to see how it looks tonight. How tonight's show looks when I watch it a little bit later here. But I, you know, and it was a night.
Apparently next week we're getting the honeymoon.
To be so. I mean, I had a bad Tuesday as far as new wrestling shows go, or at least redesign. Because Dark, Mike, AEW Dark we started seeing their Universal Studios version last week.
Go on.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't know if they're post recording or anything, but well, it was okay. I think because I think it was Tony and Taz, and
okay, that's not bad.
It's not. Oh, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Part of the fun of Dark is Excalibur and Taz, and I know they probably did this while Excalibur was off on his wedding. So I'm hoping.
I'm assuming so.
So
yeah.
I'm hoping Excalibur comes back this week and then is a part of that and everything. And I know all these matches in the can. They're probably post-producing the commentary and everything, right? So there's going to be a different vibe, right? It's just like I didn't like Dark when they first started it because it was that control room with Tony and Dasha on a green screen, and it was like, ugh, it just kind of felt blah, right? And it grew into what it did and the loose nature of it and everything. And oh my God, we're definitely filming this at 1 a.m. and we did like 50 matches today. Like that led into that. So I am curious to see how today's episode plays out when I watch it later. And I know everything comes out before this, but we're doing other shows and everything too. So so I'm looking forward to that. See how that plays out. I'm hoping it kind of picks up stream. I think there's a readjustment period, just like this. I'll probably love NXT again in like 2 or 3 weeks. If nothing else, I'll at least hang on to the Gargano family segments and find those. So I know there's that, and there's Ciampa, and there's enough there for me to stay on and see what happens, but I'm not as enamored with it as I was. I love the kind of more dark hardcore vibe of NXT before, and not this, like, I feel like there was a corporate meeting that says NXT needs a splash of color, and they literally just splashed every color at it. And everything, right? Like it doesn't feel like, do they still call, I don't think they still call it the CWC, do they?
I don't believe they have a name for it.
I don't think they named it or anything like that. So I'll be curious. I'll try to keep an extra ear out for commentary on the one tonight and see if that comes up. But that's, I don't know. It's the first. There's going to be tweaks. It's the first one. They see how it came off. It's live, So and seeing reactions and everything like that. So I'll be interested to see it. It's not.
Shit!
What?
Next week there's, I think, three title matches booked.
Oh really?
Raquel Gonzalez versus Frankie Monet.
Okay.
Mandy Rose's new team versus what's called? I can't think of the names. The women's tag champs on NXT, Io and Zoe Stark.
Mm-hmm.
For the women's, I don't know who the third title match is. I'm trying to figure it out, but just by the Twitter. But yeah, it's and it's also going to be the honeymoon of Index next week.
All right. Before we go to break here, and I do want to talk more about Grand Slam. I know you have something you want to talk about, your personal homework assignment that we didn't have time to fit in on.
It leads into Grand Slam.
But we had a couple of comments from other chat rooms other than the Facebook, so I wanted to touch on them real quick. Sean Solomon Wheat. Okay. Over on Twitch says, which of these wrestlers do you think could appear at AEW Grand Slam? Roll with me here. Mr. Kennedy, Cowboy Bob Orton, Paul London, Disco Inferno, Stevie Richards. I responded on the account, anybody but Disco Inferno. So I don't know if there's any rumors on this. I don't know if it's just a list that that this individual just like.
I think that's just random.
I think it's just who he's looking at. But if you're trying to talk about most, I don't think any of these guys are on the radar.
No, I don't. Why would they be?
No. So
it's not like any of them have an affinity toward New York, or tennis.
Stevie Richards is the local guy out of all this, I believe. I
don't think he's from New York.
Is he? Well, not New York, but he's like a Jersey guy or Philly or something, right? He's from around. I thought he's from around that area, but I mean, he could be mistaken. He could be. I mean, he probably lives in Tampa like every other wrestler.
Philly.
What's that?
Philly.
It's Philly? Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of
no.
What?
No, you are not lumping my city in with Philly. Nope. Sorry, that's not happening.
All that stuff.
If anything, you're closer to being lumped in with Philly. Exactly. That's the offense I took.
That the 5 hours away, Philly. You know what they're talking about?
False accusations.
Yeah. How long do you think it is from here?
I don't know. It's
also 4 or 5 hours.
If you can commute to it by train, I lump all the New York down to DC
Sorg,
together.
You can commute anywhere by train.
Not anywhere. Not anywhere. Only
anywhere. It depends on how long you want your commute to be.
That's true too. And over Matthew over on the YouTube page says, he was just throwing a vote out there for Owen versus Sting from our conversation earlier. So thank you guys. Keep them coming there. An hour and a half train ride from Philly to Penn Station. That's commutable. So
yeah. Don't lump them together.
Okay.
Sorg.
Okay, pal.
Sorg.
Okay.
No. Sorg, we don't even like when people from Jersey say they're from New York.
Man, you see how offensive. Mike is not also protective about lumping Philadelphia with New York City, but he's also offended if you do lump in New York City style pizza with pizza from New York. And that's why we got the Mad Mike seal of approval on our friend's slice on Broadway right up the street here. New York City style yins are made here in Pittsburgh, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills, 4 locations. Riz is sending me Grubhub images of him getting his East Liberty slice on Broadway all the way out in Monroeville. So keep them coming. And of course, I know not everybody out there in the chat realm is from the Pittsburgh area. If you are not, please, I do encourage you, just like we like that you support some indie professional wrestling like our friends at 2PW, Rise, and RWA. Please support independent food places, including your pizza joints or whatever you may call pizza, like Chicago. With that, sliceonbroadway.com. Hey, Ronnie's still here. Mike's still here. We have conversations, and people are just hanging out outside my window right now. And hi, buddy.
Come to my window.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I...
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg. And there's a train right now. Speaking of trains going by here, so I can commute into town on train and just step out my door here. And well, I got to go down to the stop, but anyways. It's not far. But we still have with us the master commuter himself, Mad Mike, up there in upstate New York. and of course the toy collector extraordinaire. We're gonna let him talk this half of the show, by the way. Ronnie Starks is with us. Ronnie, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm just enjoying, Mike taking up all the airtime.
I mean, you mute your mic, sir. Just keep your mic unmuted.
Have some opinions, man. We throw it out there. Throw it out there. Do you have any Super Hentai names that we missed when we were going down the list?
I think you guys are good.
Okay. And then I handed off the Mad Mike again because Mike, you assigned yourself a project today.
Okay,
apparently.
So there's a very specific reason I did this.
Okay.
So my mother's birthday is tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is what's preventing me from even attempting to go to the AEW show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take you back 14 years to the last time my mother's birthday prevented me from going to a wrestling show. I wanted to go to. No, and
okay.
It's a very specific rationale. Trust me. Follow me. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll never forget the date because not only is it my mom's birthday, it was a big day in the world of professional wrestling.
Okay.
Okay. September 22nd, 1997.
Oh.
Aha! Sorg knows where I'm going with this.
Oh, wait. How many years ago was that?
14 years ago.
No, that's like 24 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah. Jeez. Okay, yeah.
You lost a decade in there, Mike.
Yeah, 24 years ago. Sorry.
Oh, no.
24 years ago. Even worse.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So this was the first Raw from Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring it up, it's the first time a promotion doing their live show in New York. Big things are going to happen. They even said when they opened that Garden show, they're like, the world of professional wrestling is about to change. And it did. Because on that Raw, you not only had Austin Stuns McMahon, you had Shawn Michaels come out as the first ever Grand Slam champion, and the return of Cactus Jack. That was all on the same Raw. So I watched the whole thing. I watched the entire Raw because I'm like, I'm curious, like, because I wanted to watch it to see if maybe, because AEW likes to, throw homages to the past and everything, if they kind of run the same kind of show. And do you want to know what else is on that show? Owen Hart versus Brian Pillman.
Oof.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The Nation of Domination versus the Legion of Doom.
Wow.
Bret Hart versus Goldust. Uh-huh. It was a show. It was stacked to bejesus and back. Like, so that's what got me thinking. I'm like, this AEW show, like, because you can look at the matches and say, okay, this is going to be a big show.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it's going to be an even bigger show than we think.
Mm.
Just based on, like, it's a weird coincidence. Like, 24 years later, another promotion is taking their first big swing inside a New York arena, and they're going for it. Like, and they're saying it's going to be their biggest show.
Is this, wait, did you say, is this the one where Stone Cold finally attacks Vince for the first time?
It's the first time, yeah.
Okay.
It's because the through line for Stone Cold was that Owen had a restraining order on him.
Yeah.
And after Owen's match with Pillman, Austin attacked him, and the cops came out, and they're like, King's like, arrest him, put him in jail. And Vince is like, all right, no, stop it. And he's like, we're just trying to look out for you. We're trying to, make sure you don't get injured or anything like that. And then Austin is like, and I appreciate the fact that you're looking out for my well-being. And, well, you can kiss my ass. Excuse me.
Oh man.
And then he stuns him.
Yeah.
And then I think, I'm not 100% on this. I think that might be the first time they call Vince the owner of the WWF. Because that happened right as Raw went off the air and right before the War Zone started. Do you know what the first segment of the War Zone was? Triple H versus Dude Love.
No, wait, is it Dude Love? It looks like it's Cactus, isn't it?
Sorg.
Oh, I see what happens.
Because it was a Falls Count Anywhere match. So Dude Love, he shows up on the Titantron and he says, "Ooh, Falls Count Anywhere. That's not for me, Daddy. But I know who it could be for." He brings out Mankind. Like, that segment was also on this show. It's absolutely just wild. And I'm not even talking about like Taker just going around beating up Shawn and Brett. And this is also where they talk about the first Hell in a Cell match that's about to happen. Like, September 22nd, 1997 is a pivotal Raw. And I think we could very well be seeing the same thing tomorrow night for AEW.
There's so much happening. I think they're taping in one night. The Dynamite's going to happen. Then Rampage is being taped as well for this Friday. So they're calling it, and that's going to be a 2-hour affair on Friday as well. So they're calling this a pay-per-view, but it's on TV. Is how they're putting this. So
DP said story time with Mad Mike, baby.
Yay, baby.
Baby.
So I mean, the biggest thing, and people have seen, people have been talking about this. Like, they can't remember last time a televised match had so much behind it. Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. Holy crap! First of all. Like, that's happening. It's on TV. It's not for a title. It is just it's just for bragging rights at this point. Whether that leads into the next pay-per-view or what,
whether we get a finish
or Adam Page comes back at the end and sets up for the pay-per-view,
very possible.
What? You know, I mean,
what, and who have we said is AEW Stone Cold?
Page.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could see Page taking out Don Callis.
Except his beer truck is a horse.
Yes. Yes.
So you have that. Geez, I mean, that's the biggest thing happening. Even looking at forward to Rampage, we got Eddie Kingston and Moxley against Suzuki and Lance Archer.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Holy shit! You got Britt and Ruby Soho for the title. I love how excited
they
you're
did add a
this.
Second women's match.
Okay.
For Rampage.
Yes.
So they're still only advertising one per show, but
yeah. Hey, that's on par with most of the companies that we're watching, to be honest. So,
I mean, Raw had 3 women's matches last night, but okay.
The Raw is 3 hours. So and
AEW is 2 hours.
Yes.
So they should have 1 women's match per hour. Thank you. Moving on.
We had a Facebook post about this last week. I'm not getting into it again.
So we're moving on.
But either way, it's represented on a big stage. So looking forward to that situation. Geez, I don't even. So is Miro beating?
And we also have CM Punk wrestling on TV, Adam Cole wrestling on TV. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised that Punk is wrestling on TV this week.
He's got Powerhouse Hobbs of Team Taz because they've been feuding with that. And then threw him into a table that doesn't break.
Oh, that looked rough.
That did look rough.
That
looked rough.
And I forgot. Sorry, huge sidetrack before I forget. One thing from Raw last night that I wanted to note last night, and I forgot because we got sidetracked. They're starting the building blocks for Roman and The Rock.
Okay.
Because Roman in his match used the rock bottom.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I took note of it because I'm like, Roman doesn't do that move. I'm like, oh, okay. So they're slowly starting it, I think. I think they're slow. Like, would not shock me if he breaks it out against Balor, and definitely against Brock.
WrestleMania.
Sorg, we may get it earlier.
Okay. Where do you think? Like Rumble, maybe?
Do
we have a location for Rumble?
No, Sorg. Here's what I'm thinking. And again, I'm going history. Survivor Series 1996 in New York City. A young man by the name of Rocky Maivia makes his debut. 25 years later, Survivor Series, New York City.
Barclays Center.
Yep. A young man may win the Universal Championship.
November 21st, they're looking at here at the Barclays Center. So that is the Survivor Series that's happening.
Man. I'm waiting for it. Like Roman beats Brock, and then he comes out. He's like, "There's no one else that can touch me. I smashed Brock. I stacked him. No one else. If you smell." And then The Rock, and then all The Rock has to say, "The Rock recognized you at the head of the table. Let The Rock ask you something. Who built the table?" That's it.
Hey, Mad Mike.
Yeah.
According to my booking sheet over here, I might be significantly closer to New York City the day before Survivor Series.
That is excellent. I have a wedding, unfortunately, on the date of Survivor.
Oh, no!
But if you are close and happen to get tickets, I may join you later.
Okay.
I'd be down. I may show up a little later, but I'd be down.
Talk about that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to put it that in my calendar because, I don't know if I would go to New York for Survivor Series just off the bat, but, man, I'm probably going to be about 2 hours from New York City.
Okay.
If my math is right here. So we're just going to leave that there in the calendar, and we got a little bit of time to figure that out, huh?
Yeah.
So we'll just make a note here. So Mayhem takes Manhattan or Brooklyn. Mayhem breaks Brooklyn, maybe. So yeah.
I mean, again, this is all me speculating. This is all me speculating because honestly, for me, that's probably what I'd do because you can even have The Rock win.
Yeah.
At Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And then Roman beats him at Mania.
Yeah.
You could because like
or Rumble. Rumble's a big deal too. Rumble's been in baseball.
Rumble's not a big deal for title matches. That's the thing. Rumble's not a big deal for title matches.
Okay.
Look how many times Dolph Ziggler got a heavyweight title match at the Royal Rumble and didn't win. Like
Hardcore Holly got a title match.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
All because Lesnar broke his neck.
Yeah. But I mean, it could just be The Rock coming back at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Could be that too, because we have the draft before then, so Roman could go after AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, whoever comes over from Raw. You know what I mean? Like, that could be it too. So who knows? I guess we'll see, but it'd be cool to kind of move it up to Survivor Series. Anyway, so AEW, sorry, I took us on a sidebar.
I was kind of curious what we did have for some of the title matches around there. Like I'm seeing Becky Lynch, Asuka, Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. So that was in 2020, and of course they did some big stuff in that Rumble with Edge coming back and Brock and everything, right? So I think we'd be remiss without discussing something that happened to a friend of the show last night. By a friend of the show, by the way. Because I understand Keith Lee came out last night and was announced as Keith the Bearcat Lee.
Wait, what? I haven't heard about this.
Yes, and of course, a longtime friend of the show who has had the name for 10 years, Keith Hott, is all kinds of distressed over this. So justice for Bearcat, first of all. And I just want to throw and again, I mean, we've had a version of this with
Spears,
Reaper Matt Connard, about this and had a whole episode of the Indie Mayhem show talking about the legalities with David Lawless. Yes, he's a real lawyer, if you didn't know. So I'm hoping now. I mean, I have shared my ideas of how he handles this. I don't know if he'll take those because Keith is a really nice guy. But no, just a justice for Keith. The Bearcat Keith Hott that's been that for 10 years, and in completely accidental timing, happened to throw up on the Indie Wrestling .us YouTube page Keith versus RJ City, which has been buried for years, that we finally got to resurface. So you can go check that out too in complete support of Keith Hott. So I said he should just be the original Bearcat. So,
I mean, might as well.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I have a feeling he didn't trademark that. So,
I mean, honestly, if it's not on TV yet, it may not be a thing for WWE.
I think it was on TV. Like it sounds like
it was on Main Event.
Or was it? I don't. Was it on?
Because
on
Main Event hasn't aired yet.
Oh well, I don't know. So there was just everybody was sharing a tweet.
Because it wasn't on Raw.
It wasn't
on
Raw.
That.
Okay.
Well, he needs to definitely look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing is, if they did it, did they pass it through legal? Is it got a trademark out, and he can look at that and everything like that? He definitely has friends in the business with some resources that can do that, and I'm hoping Keith's going ahead and doing that. So, but it's just one of those things. So again, young wrestlers, longtime wrestlers, trademark your shit. Trademark your shit. Okay, so I mean, just to keep from something like this happening, because the big guys don't care. They don't. They really don't. You're just.
Well, I mean, it's not even that they don't care. They don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I truly think
wait. Yeah. So
I think it depends.
I am curious.
But,
I am curious. So. Because they I know through discussions about names and stuff, there's this whole running it through legal situation, and I don't know what that entails. Maybe there's a Gavel David Lawless discussion too. Is that simply doing a search in the trademarks, but does that also include,
I guarantee that's just doing the search.
So it's not even just like a simple
Google
search.
No.
Could
guarantee it's not.
Okay.
Guarantee it's not, because all they have to do is find if they can legally trademark it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If there's a trademark on it, then it's a no-go. If there's not, fair game.
Yeah. Be interesting to see.
Like it doesn't matter. Like I guarantee you that there's no Google search for indie wrestlers who might be using the same name. There's no fucking way.
Either way.
Like doesn't matter how high profile the indie wrestler is either. Like
no.
I could see Karrion Kross calling himself the Savage Gentleman. Hate to say it, I could see it.
Yeah.
Very easily. Yeah. Like very easily.
So,
but
and I think there's somebody else who is like using a Savage Gentleman moniker that's been of issue lately, that I've seen on Twitter. So, and we're talking about Victor Benjamin is our Savage Gentleman as well, the Butterfinger champion, who I believe just defended that against Lance Archer recently. So I need to with it Pale Pro Wrestling. Whew, these guys. So we were running the Pale Pro Wrestling ads on the Warrior Wrestling shows, and it is a wonderful 8-bit Tron like thing they made for each of the wrestlers, including Savage Gentleman and stuff. It's got to be floating around out there. But it was every time I watch it, I'm like, wow, these guys put a lot of graphic work into this company, and some of the stuff I saw from the weekend of the show itself just looks incredible. So, have you guys seen the women's cage fighting promotions lately?
I've seen a little bit of Lady Frost.
Yeah, Lady Frost is involved. I think Katie Arquette has done some of it. I think Ray Lynn has done some of it. So it's in a cage. I believe there's no ropes. It's a ring with a cage around it. It's a wrestling ring with a cage around it, boxing ring, whatever the case may be. And they're doing MMA style matches. They got the gloves and everything. And I'm seeing clips of it, and it looks badass, So I mean, it's a very specialized thing, of course, but it looks like it's a growing thing, at least maybe in my circles, because we know so many people that are involved in it. But that's been an interesting thing to watch too. I just love all the mix up, all the stuff with it. Saying that Keith Lee took it off of Wikipedia. What?
Bearcat Wright apparently was a wrestler
Okay.
back in the late 50s and 60s, which also is probably true.
Yeah. So, either way. On that note, Ronnie,
Hello.
you're still here.
I am still here.
What'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Well, I learned that weddings can actually go good
Mm-hmm.
for once in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Phew, thank God.
Yeah, I was kind of worried for a little bit. But, you know, as soon as he broke his silence and said I do, my heart sank.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, good for them. True love does exist
Mm-hmm.
in professional wrestling. Even if you are an ex-murderer, but good for you. And I'll start learning wrestling this week. That AEW is going to be a stacked card this week. It's going to be fantastic.
It's been crazy.
And what else did I learn from wrestling this week? I don't know, because I really don't watch WWE product, so I really don't know what to tell you.
Mike?
Yeah. What did I learn from wrestling this week? I learned be nice to the service industry. That's what I learned from wrestling this week. Just be nice to the service industry.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, just all right. If you are a good person, good things will happen to you. If you're not a good person, you can fuck off.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely learned it from wrestling this week, because you can tell the people, like, good people. Big E, he's WWE champion. He's gonna be in a Netflix special that the trailer just dropped with the Undertaker, and it looks.
Hold on. We did promise this. Where's that trailer at? So I'm gonna we wanted a live reaction. We're late enough in the show.
And Tina also threw it.
Mm-hmm.
I learned who knew I would be intrigued by a WWE Netflix film, and she also said the trailer dropped. So I'm excited for this because Sorg has not seen this yet.
I have not, and I'm about to for the first time.
I'm
clicking on it now.
Today.
I'm on see it several times today.
fantastic.
So we're on the trailer. I have no audio, unfortunately, with this. So
oh no, you need audio.
He's in his there's zero audio on this computer. A Netflix interactive film. We have I have subtitles.
Okay.
So the New Day show up at the door. They're on a camera. The urn just exploded with light. We have some highlights of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're looking for the power of the urn so they could be unstoppable.
Yep.
Oh boy, this is like a Scooby-Doo film so far.
Yes, it is.
And there's the Undertaker. Follow the fog, the whispers, or the lights.
It's Scooby-Doo meets Saw.
Oh,
it really is, and I'm.
That was definitely a spider on Big E's face.
Yes,
oh
it was.
No. It's so like I feel like they still shot it with the same crew that did the Boneyard match. You know what I mean?
They probably did. Jeremy Borash's fingerprints are probably all over.
Oh yeah. But there's a lot more effects to this though. Oh man, it really goes Saw on this, doesn't it? Join Undertaker or stay positive. This is gonna be tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. They probably had so much fun doing this.
It's definitely going to be a watch-along thing.
Escape the Undertaker. And this is a choose your adventure. If you have not yet and you have Netflix, you want to kind of prepare for what kind of thing this could be. There's a wonderful Black Mirror Bandersnatch thing on there. It's about I think it's about a video game, if I recall. That gets a little too real kind of situation.
And if scary isn't your thing, there's also a Kimmy Schmidt.
There is. There's also a Minecraft Tales one on there too. So yes.
Really, I hadn't heard that.
Well, you know those Telltale games that were all the adventure games and things. Like I believe it's one of those, and they adapted it to Netflix Interactive.
Oh, that's wild. Okay.
So, and then I think the company went out of business. So, unfortunately, like I have a feeling they could have done a lot more, like the Batman movie.
That's a shame because the Batman Telltale games are
the Batman Telltale games are tremendous. I've played both of them. And I think they're both included if you have Game Pass, by the way, on Xbox.
Yeah, I had gotten them both free on Games with Gold.
So I have a disc of the original. I have a disc of the original, but it only has episode 1 on it because it was released, included the pass, but you still have to download all the rest of the games. So it was like, what's the disc for? Some kind of situation. But anyways. Well, we got to get out of here because I have 73 hours of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original 80s cartoon to watch. And I got to figure out what I'm going to watch them because they're DVDs.
Sorg, you also have to take note that Leonardo in that first episode does not give a fuck because he stabs one of the fucking foot soldiers before everyone realizes they're robots.
Remember, so if it wasn't a robot, you just accidentally murdered a man.
Oh, no, there was no accident. He purposefully murdered a man. Like if that wasn't a robot, that first episode would have gotten real dark, real quick. That's hashtag Dark Side of the Shell. That's what that would have been.
Dark Side of the Shell.
God, that's a new podcast.
Man, we find out about Raphael's rage problem and
Michelangelo goes to AA.
Yeah. Or oh man, you could
and you don't even want to know what Donatello's using his tech for.
Hey man,
you don't want to know.
We guys got 30 seconds. Okay.
There it goes. Mad Mike 483 on the Twitters.
Snooch to the motherfucking nooch.
Oh, we're going to do a video on Patreon for that in a few minutes here. So stay tuned to that, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. I think I have some Daniel Eats clips that we haven't released yet, so stay tuned for those when I get to hit publish. Ronnie Starks!
On the Twitters at Starks Wrestling. Facebook, I guess. Other social media accounts, sure. And, I got nothing.
Thank you for hanging out with us, Ronnie.
That's Ronnie's new tag. That's Ronnie's new tagline. I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Ronnie, I got nothing. Starks. That's your new ProWrestlingTees.com.
Big bull letters. I got nothing.
Yes, that's it. That's it. So
hey, it works for Orange Cassidy.
There you go. There you go. At Sorg Sean on the Twitters, I will not be at professional wrestling this weekend because I got a case of sweaty dick punching happening. I got to work on that phrasing. No, I'm going to be in the Poconos somewhere at some resort somewhere. It's not going to be relaxing because I'm going to be doing a MMA pay-per-view for Maverick MMA on Spectation Sports, our new friends over there. So stay tuned for that. If you like betting on sweaty dick punching, I'm not sending this to my employer for the weekend. If you like betting on sweaty dick punching and are in a state where you're allowed to do that, go Spectation Sports. Look at the Maverick MMA pay-per-view that we'll be producing for the weekend. So looking forward to just whatever excitement that goes. So I tell you what, I'm not a great MMA fan. But man, is it fun to see in person. So it is, man, just that carnal violence. Just like that means the first time I attended MMA here in town, my nephew took me because he's an amateur wrestler and got to meet Benjamin and Frost actually. So at that show. And the first time you're sitting 10 feet from a man's face who just fell apart. That it's really interesting. So there's that. At Sorgatron, so you can see those adventures. Rob's going to be coming along with me. Who knows what we're going to find along the way heading out there, and some other stuff going on throughout the week. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Mayhem Universe. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.